Hi, I'm Bart Hansen. I'm the owner and lead instructor for CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the instructions in the video description.
So this hand starts off 2-5 at a WinStar, 700 effective.
Okay. Give me one second
plus,
here as I'm settling in. I want to pop up the chat.
Oh, okay.
All right. So everybody can see this, I'm assuming now. All right, cool. 2-5 WinStar, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yep.
+2 raises to 25.
Okay.
Hijack and Button. Button, who is the main villain, both call, and Hero calls in the big blind with ace-4 of clubs.
Hijack and Button call.
Right.
Hero calls with ace of clubs, 4 of clubs, right? Okay. So, wait a minute. Did I just go back? Did this thing just go offline? Hold on one second here. Why does it say that it... if it goes offline, we're just going to continue on because... yeah, I need to record the show. So, we'll just continue on here. Guys on the phone, I don't know. Huh.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. It says that it's offline, and I have no idea. Is it offline? Is it online? I still see myself. It says I don't know what the hell is going on. Oh, it's still live. Okay. All right. Cool. So +2, 25, hijack and Button call. Hero calls with ace-4 of clubs. Did you ever consider squeezing here? You know, you are incentivized to squeeze a little bit with the dead money in between.
Yeah, I considered it, but I've kind of been laying off a little bit with these lower hands in my range. I would definitely go for it with like a king, queen, king, jack type of hand, but I'm just not getting a lot of fold equity, and I just end up playing these really bloated pots.
Yeah, I mean that can definitely happen because you said that you're coming from an online perspective too, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I think one of the things that happens too is that you raise and like you get into a very, very bloated scenario, right? Like very bloated, where
right.
you know you're not going to have a whole lot of stacked up. So I don't mind just the call here. So you make the call. So 25 call, Hero calls on the button. Okay.
Right. Hero's in the big blind.
Sorry.
The flop is ace of spades, 10 of diamonds, 4 of spades.
Ace of spades, 10 of diamonds, 4 of spades. Okay, yes, I remember this one. So you flop top and bottom. You're in the big blind. +2 to 25, hijack and Button call. Hero calls in the big blind. I'm sorry, for some reason I thought you were on the button. It makes a whole lot more sense, right? You're closing the action in the big blind, so you just call. Okay, so you flop top and bottom here, right? Ace 10 4.
Right.
Yep.
And I decided to lead into the field 25, 4-way. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I feel like I'm just clicking buttons in these multi-way spots. I don't know if I should check or lead, but I decided to go for the small lead here, just kind of like.
I mean, it's definitely peculiar, I would say. But you know, if you do want to develop a lead out range, basically like into a multi-way pot, I don't mind the play. I'm not exactly sure why you'd bet so small though here. I mean, if I was going to lead out, I would bet like 60 to 70. I mean, the more you go in the higher stakes, right? Like the more like, you know, you might just check all the time here, but I don't hate the lead out, but it's definitely very small. So you made it 25. What did the pre-flop raiser do in +2?
So the two guys in between both fold, pre-flop raiser and hijack.
Fold.
And the button.
Yep.
And the button clicks it back to 50. And she's a reg. I don't know if she's any good, but I don't know. This seemed ridiculous, but I called because I thought bet 3-betting here is clearly an overplay.
Actually, I don't think so. This is really interesting. I actually don't think that it's that. When I looked at this hand at first, I understand what you're saying, and if you're not familiar with a lot of these live patterns, it'll be interesting. I think the really interesting part is what you're going to say here is on the turn. Normally, like a raise size like this is very, very indicative of just top pair. When you look at like a hand like ace 10, pocket fours, pocket tens, they're not going to min raise you. It's against the field caller. While I would agree that sometimes it could be an overplay against the pre-flop raiser, against this sizing, because you let out so small, I actually would bet 3-bet here. I really would. Like, because you bet so small and because it's a min raise, I would bet 3-bet here. I would probably go to 125 and take the betting lead back and play for a big pot here. You said that the lady is a reg, because a lot of times if you check, they're just going to check it back. You will also figure out, or you'll be able to figure out like basically the strength of their hand also too, if you do just call and check the turn by the sizing. So it sounded to me like you call. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my instincts are a little bit off for live poker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I called, and the turn rolled off 6 of hearts. So the pot is around $200.
Okay, so you lead out. So hold on a second. So you lead out for 25, raise to 50. You call. Pot's 200. You have ace 4 clubs, ace of spades, 10 of diamonds, 4 of spades. Turns to 6 of hearts for the podcast listeners. You check, and what happens?
And she bets 60, so it's around a little bit over 1/4 pot.
Oh, wow. You got to be kidding me here. So check, button bets 60. You have the best hand here like 100% of the time. Now, this sort of leads up to kind of an interesting thing. I call it like upfront betting, which is a sort of a term that I made up. It's not normally in this particular spot. The question here is that you definitely have the best hand. We'll see sometimes, I actually advocate this play when you are the pre-flop raiser and get raised post-flop, and then you don't know. Let's say you've got like pocket queens, right? And the board comes out like jack 5-4, and you bet, and a guy like raises you, right? And you call, and now the turn you check, and he bets really tiny. That's very indicative of a jack, like in hand like king jack ace jack. So the question is how do you play the turn? Do you make a small click up check raise, or do you sometimes just call and then just blast the river on a blank and make your hand look like a busted front door draw? That's what I call like an upfront bet. But here I think I would just go to like 150 and bet the river, to be honest with you. If you want to call, you're going to have to play like you got to get some value. If you call here, you got to blast a blank. I mean, that's how confident I am that you have the best hand here. But obviously it doesn't sound like...
When you say blast, are you talking about like lead out, like everything busts and you just lead the river?
On the river, right. It's a unique scenario in a situation where somebody has taken the betting lead from you on the flop. You're unsure whether or not your hand is good, but their turn sizing is indicative and makes you know that your hand's good. So if I were to say to you, DJ, your hand's good now, right? You have 2 options, right? You can check raise, or on the river, you can lead out. The problem with calling and then checking the river is there's so many hands that are going to check back. Do you see what I'm saying? Like ace 9 is just going to check back. So what do? If you don't want to allow a check back, you have 2 options, right? You check raise now, or you call and lead. I mean, I know it sounds strange, but...
It sounds really strange.
Yeah.
I guess from my perspective, this is really cool because I was not nearly as confident as you are now that I had the best hand on the turn.
Oh, dude, raise on the flop and then a 1/4 pot size bet on the turn in position. This is just bread and butter live poker patterns. But I mean, like, if you don't have the experience, how would you know, right? You know what I mean? It's like, but I mean, this is stuff that's right in my wheelhouse. So what did you do here on the turn?
So I called.
Okay. Hero calls. Yep.
And the river rolls off the 10 of spades, counterfeiting my 2 pair.
Wow. So the front door spade draw comes in and it counterfeits your 2 pair.
Right.
Wow. I mean, that's terrible. Yeah, you might want to consider turning your hand into a bluff here. The issue, so there's 2 things that you can do here, right, at the end. But the problem is that like there's so many just aces that are just going to check back. Like obviously like you have very little showdown value here, and if you check and it just goes check, you lose. So that's why like you could just blast at the end again to represent the front door spade. Occasionally she might have a draw and she's just going to call you. But what did you do now?
So I was thinking along those lines. I did not consider myself to have such as little showdown value as you say. I guess I thought that it would just go check and she might give up something nonsensical like a king queen, some percentage.
King queen,
or like a say she's just pulling some nonsensical bluff. I don't know. I just feel like I see it.
I mean, people.
I don't feel like my showdown value is 0. So.
People. Well, I don't know, man. I don't see how you. People in the live chat are saying that like it could be spades, but the thing is that like it can't be 10x of spades because spades come in right with the 10. Right. So like I feel like a hand like king queen of spades, queen jack of spades is going to be taking command of this hand like a lot more than betting 1/4 pot on the turn. Anyways, it's an interesting hand. What did you do here at the end on the river?
Okay, so I checked. She bets 100 into like 315 or something.
Wow, I'm actually really surprised that she's betting here. So you check, hero checks, and now button bets 100. I'm just gonna fold now because like the fact that she bets again here, like if you were to look at the hand ranges of like what she had, if she's betting again here. It's not like she's betting ace jack for value here. Maybe she did run into a flush, but I'm just going to give it up now. Okay,
well, I shipped it for like 540 more.
Oh, man.
Because I was thinking I don't have a better hand to bluff with than counterfeit 2-pair here.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. So, but I mean, yes, that's true in theory, but like your opponent's not thinking about that. Like I'm not going to try to move a 2-5 like reg off of like a flush here to represent a full house, even if it makes a whole lot of sense and you have the right cards to do it with. You know what I'm saying? Like live poker at this level is mostly value. Sure, there are times to bluff, but I mean, I don't know if this one got through, but it would be very, very surprising if she has a flush here and fold.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's basically what I wanted to hear from you is like at this level, like I played much higher online and this is just sort of mandatory.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay. Like right.
If you're not bluffing in these spots, people will never pay you off. So I don't know. I guess I just kind of went instinctual. It just feels like natural to bluff here. Anyway, she said that, she like tank called down and then turned over 10-4 suited for the bottom full house. So wow. It did not get through. So you were totally right, like dead on about the turn and everything.
I'm actually really cool. But the thing is, I'm actually really surprised at the sizing for 10-4. So 10-4 is bottom 2, right? Like you had a hammerlock, on the hand. Yeah. I'm actually really surprised at the sizing with bottom 2. Like I would have thought that the hand would have gone like a lot. It would have been like a lot larger. You know what I'm saying? The problem is that like let's say like the river's an offsuit deuce, right? You would really feel fucking stupid, right, when she checks back 10-4 on the river because that's what's gonna happen, right? That's why you got to take the lead. That's why you have to take the lead away someplace. Whether that's blasting up from up front on the river or check raising turn or bet three betting the flop. But I mean, like I said, these are just betting, I mean, these are just like betting patterns, like I said, that I've picked up for a long time. But I like that one a lot. I appreciate it. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.